Bye. This Ensorcio guy. And one. And three. What's with the switch? Sliding door. Why have they got tons of cloth? Doesn't make a lot of sense. Be a lever somewhere. Minimizing. Where's Ensorcio then? Bags, exactly what I need. a lot. It's just empty. Morning star. Get rid of that. Swap you for that.
Bye, have a beautiful time.
Whoa. You're right, whoa. Still don't know where end socio is. Sent home to the bull as soon as I received Mother's letter. It's not easy to relinquish my command, but Mother needed me here, so I am. Examined the grounds, found nothing. Mother says she had noticed from the cellar and that father disappeared. When investigated, I found crates overturned, but nothing else. I feel so useless. There's no space. But I had something from a shred of evidence indicating what became of father. Must be Wilfred. He was not going to wake up. Gone fool. Greetings, that's been to me. Well, if it's another petty tyrant, I might as well leave now, pikeman. I have no use for the likes of thee, and that's going to do nothing to avenge the wrongs I have suffered. So leave thou, if I grow tired of thee, and feel the wrath of a socio the adept. Yes, tyrant, and I shall say it in front of Argus too, for all that matters. You pikemen wear your bravery mounts in your faces for all to see, and expect the world to tremble at your feet. Demand us tribute like a king, but all are worthy of his contempt. Not speak to an ordinary pikeman. This is the Avatar. May us not judge the Avatar by this mark alone. Do not let him say such things about the Avatar. I see thee draw thyself up. Have I offended thee? What wilt thou do, pikeman? Drag me to the jail as the comrades did drag Hawk? Thou'st not know the half of it. Here I sit, an adept in a wretched hovel exile from the practice of magic that's in my lifeblood. The council have turned its back on Philbacio's exploits for so long that they sought to make me their scapegoat, their public example. Deborah's a fine woman, but all that she is a bit domineering, but then most women are they not? She hath taken her loss incredibly well, convinced that worthless son of hers to return and help with some honest work here at the inn. If you ask me, I'd say that she's too kind to the rogues and misfits. Argus, for all that he is Deborah's son, he's still a dog. Well, grant he came home when Deborah summoned him, unlike Wilfred, but the two are cut from the same cloth, all the same vain, pompous braggarts. tribute, perhaps I should say donation. Where's the honour in charge? And even the poorest peasant, a ruinous fee to use the only safe road in all the lands. So much for protecting the weak and helping the poor. Hawke is captain of the Arabella. I'm afraid that Flindo was a bit distressed to hear that the good captain had no intention of risking himself or his ship to take that merchant to Moonshade. These damnable storms. They brought the muscle of the pikemen to persuade Hawke that remaining here would be unhealthy. Moonshade, city of wonders, city of charlatans. However, for Fend, thou should try something innovative. Might endanger the incompetent fools led by Filbercio and his trained council of mages. Rather showy, if you ask me, but rather spectacular results, entirely too random for my taste, however. Of course, I can't help wondering which mage is behind them. Wonder if that double-crossing battling has anything to do with them. The storm started after he left her, you know. So you know of him. Battling came here some time ago, and his tame demon. He seemed to take an interest in my story, and spent many evenings exchanging arcane lore. Then he left on some errand. When he returned with his other two thugs, Battling seemed restless, but we continued our discussions as if nothing had changed. I thought he was my friend. Should have guessed that Battling intended something shady when I saw those two. Pretty sure Battling brought them expressly to steal the old jawbone left me by my mentor. Between Brunt, the idiot, and Deadeye, the one-eyed pirate, I'm lucky to still be alive. Jawbone. It's a large serpent jawbone that my mentor received from his mentor, the Mad Mage. Could never discover what use was there. It was clearly magical, was a keepsake. I'd hoped to discover its secret someday. I think that Battling found its secret. Create these damn storms. His true name is Erston. I taught many of the moon shady and depths their craft. As is the way the master and apprentice, eventually surpassed him in skill and scope. The old mage could not abide the thought that these mages were no longer his valuable students, and went quite mad. He saw them all as thieves intent on stealing his secrets, and moved to an island off Moonshade. He does refuse to have any dealings with Moonshade to this day. He sits on this island trying to find a way to create life. Mentor, a very great man, his name was Vasculio. Fortunately, Vasculio was a man that was constantly testing the limits of convention. Council mages found him threatening, attempted to kill him, refused to bow to their wishes. His experimentation with Stoneheart had given him spells to elude even the most monstrous fate. He's out there somewhere still, straining at the chains of accepted wisdom. At any apprentice, I learned all I could from my mentor, whether he was willing to teach me or not. It's a matter of being discovered in the act. Interest in buying spell, could always use money for ale. No. Single spell book. Stoneheart, such a wonderful wonder to behold. It doth come forth from the depths of the mountains of freedom. It's quite rare. Council have outlawed possession of Stoneheart because of its power, but a small quantity is quietly hidden, else how would the death spells work? Let's have a Stoneheart. Could I? No, I shall not succumb to its lure. It shall be strong, but it should take care. Its regent has a way of twisting man's heart so that they cannot bear to part from it. In its raw form, it is useless for spells. For a fee, sizable of course, I could teach its secrets and may also cast death spells. It's very valuable information. How much would you pay for it? Gold coins. I will pay 50. You can be more reasonable than that. 100. Most wise indeed. So 100 gold coins, I'll teach thee how to put thy Stoneheart to use. Agreed, yes. First you must have ritual bloodletting device. Most mages possess one, even though they are technically illegal. Then you must fill a small container with blood. Using this device, blood can be thine, or that of any of thy companions, whichever others find more convenient. Once that's the blood, let's use the blood on the Stoneheart. This produces the blood spawn. No need for death spells. Okay. Absolutely huge and ugly demon. Battling called him Palos. And the demon went about meekly hooded and robed as his master commanded. I do admit I was impressed. He could not help but think about the trouble that Rotaluncia was having. Ever since Filbercio replaced But Luncia as his playmate, Luncia had to find some other interest to occupy her time. From what I have heard, that seems to be demons. Perhaps I can hope she does have designs on revenge. Be content to think of Filbertio filling a demon's belly, so I'm sure that she would take quite an interest in that fat mage's pet demon, which could send her word. Council of Mages is a handful of adepts. We need to keep the Mage Lord from misusing his power. In this case, however, they spend their time making the decisions that the Mage Lord should be making. But as unto myself, they are content to allow Filbertio to continue his amusements. With luck, he will be killed by one of his paramours. Filbertio is a presumptuous maggot who calls himself Mage Lord of Moonshade. I doubt he could light a candle magically, but he doth have the backing of the council and the threat of the Mountains of Freedom to support his claim. One saving grace for Moonshade is that Filbertio spends all of his time pursuing skirts. His insignificant knowledge of magic has little effect on the bedchambers of his conquests. Flindo would have had that he's a person of note from the far city Moonshade, known by one and all, truly little more than a loud shopkeeper with a penchant for gossip. Flindo floats about here and there, acquiring merchandise boussier to sell, and as much information as he can. I think alone is why the depths humour him from time to time with some tidbit of news. Boussier runs the Flindo's shop for him, called the Capesi Canton, a pompous name. If you ask me, Boussier charges a fillip more on everything she sells for her troubles. It's very careful to show Flindo the altered accounts. Mountains of Freedom. Freedom, what a farce. The Mountains of Freedom are a prison hero. Prison filled with magical traps that none can escape. That's where Filbertio puts all her anger upon him. Small wonder I did not end there. Example, Filbertio hopped from bed to bed throughout the city using every means of coercion possible. That we found that Paul and Sorcerer used magic to catch the favour of Adept's daughter. Solely I am the unspeakable monster. I do not know what humiliation is until it has been turned out from thine home, told neither to return and pain of death. I do not know the burning shame to hear that thy wrongdoing has been proclaimed to all, to know that wherever thou goest people will say, isn't it Sorcerer that exiled made from Moonshade? Oh no, I should not have a name to drag through the mud alongside in Sorcerer. I never cared enough for her to spend my magics upon her, hoping that she would come to care for me. I should not have to blacken her name for all that's been done to me. Coercion, at least that's what I've heard of. Blackmail, who knows what other means. Filbertio stupid for his lusts, but I have no details, nor I tried to listen to much stories, as they always send me into a near murderous fit. So I'd have to seek that information elsewhere. Over it is Deborah's youngest whelp. Now wager that I will never find a better example of the attitude of which I speak. It's a fine one to talk of attitude. Wolford ran away to prove his work to the world that he was better than his brother, a better bully, a better ruffian, and a better murderer they shall not find. Quite pathetic. When I reported the theft to her that morning, she was too distraught to pay any attention to my complaint. Not professional, after all. I'm paying a guest here. Seems Angus had a bit of silver paint in me after all and disappeared. I think perhaps he was one that stole the jawbone from me. Though why it would interest him, I'll never know. Silverpate was great-grandfather of Angus. This hail Silverpate was a bloodthirsty pirate. According to popular tales, Reform took his ill-gotten gains and built this inn, but the adepts in Moonshade tell a different tale. Seems that Silverpate employed Erston to do something at the inn, perhaps hide that fabled treasure, who knows. In any case, pirate planned to trick Erston so that he would not have to pay the mage's fees. Erston found him out, trapped the treacherous innkeeper in a pit filled with demons. No one ever saw Silverpate again. People learned to fear crossing a mage. Angus was Deborah's husband, seemed right enough fellow, liked a cup or two of ale in the evening. Worked hard, but then with their nagging you can never work hard. Would never have guessed that he had the spine to leave like that, but I suppose that every man doth have his breaking point. Castle Mages, blah blah blah, making blah blah blah. Done that. That's freedom. Bye. Goodbye. Right. La 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 la. Come on. Away with you. Hello. Greetings, fellow pikemen. Coming out of them strange storms and rest a bit. This is the inn and sleeping bowl, and I be Argus, the innkeeper. In natural storms, there was never a wolf captain. That's me living all these years crossing Moonshade. I said there's magic born. I'm afraid they'll drive us out of business if it lasts too long. People get stray too far from shelter these days. Even Hawk put in here and refused to budge because of the storms, so his passengers are less than thrilled with the decision. All I helped run off to the city, so hoping they would be safer around all those buildings. Hawk has 2 passengers down here until he puts out again. If he ever pays the pikeman, that is. One of them is the fellow with the parrot, Kane. His name is. The other is an arrogant fellow named Flinder. He's a merchant. Glad to have them been, as we only have 4 other guests. Uncommon name, Sleeping Bowl. Does have something to do with the village that once was here. According to family tales, land belonged to a mage who hated all peoples. Mage created a huge stone bull to kill trespassers on his land. It was the bull's defeat that gave the village its name, and turned the name of the inn itself. One day, Mage heard a local noble's son claim that he could defeat the bull. Mage told the boy he was welcome to try, and death would be a reward for failure. When the boy asked what would be a reward for success, the mage wagered his land. That night, the boy stole the ring from the bull's nose, turning it back into inanimate stone. The village was named after the huge stone bull that once stood in the centre of the market square. Don't know what happened to the bull. If there was one for a search. The lad had never found it. Then Socio, Selena, not been here very long, very afraid of the storms. Byron's here, which is a blessing. Agreement to pass away. Then it was between storms. There's that new fellow Migim. Only in a few days. He's really out of his room. Moonshade, never been there myself, not being overly fond of wizards and their feuds, but if there's ice spells or items of enchantment, that's the place to go. If they're looking to go for the City of Mages, they'll need a boat. Magic storms have wrecked every boat on this coast except one, that belongs to Captain Hawk. There's no use to think of hiring him. It was a fracasseer, broke things up a bit. Pikeman dragged Hawk away when he took a swing at the commander. He's been held at the Bull Tower until he pays the fine. Didn't call him odd. I've known Hawk since I was a boy, and being a pikeman myself, I have little to worry about with him. Sure, I can put up might fight and break things, but he always pays for the damage when he wakes. Someone else must have pulled them in after him. I wager my sword is that merchant Flinder. He was lightly put out when Hawk refused to sail Moonshade until the storms eased up. Wizard feuds are in the sorcerer alive. There's a scheme to become magician of that sea. Mage lords at sea. The whole place is split into rival factions that bicker constantly with each other. See, that was also the Wolf Clan, though I must confess I can't recall having seen the. So my father disappeared 6 months ago. I was captain in the Monitor. So Wolf Clan, now I am the innkeeper, and I'll not stand by way of formalities of rank that welcome here. Hardy bunch, wolves, snores, hot-headed as those bears, much more tightly knit than the leopards. Want to sit at the south, get courage. Runs the city for a portion of the year. Senior officer of the command becomes Lord of Monitor for that command's portion of the year. This ensures the continuing balance of commands. Meant to keep the battle for supremacy between the commands for a minimum. If each command knows it will have the city chance to control the city during the year, more attention is given to the military function of the command rather than political. Angus disappeared, not during one of those storms neither. Could have done that. My mother, Deborah, said that one of the guests disappeared the very same evening. Must ask Mother what she remembers. I wasn't there. Mother was understandably aggrieved the time she called home. She thought that Lord Wilfred would come to run the inn as a father had hoped, but I came instead. Don't recall she mentioned the guest's name, to be honest. Blast, did I call him that? Old Abby's tired. I think not to repeat that in Deborah's hearing, she'd have my ears for sure. Wilfred's my younger brother, and like most brothers, we have our share of spats. Grew up here in the inn, scrubbing pots whatever else was needed, but I dreamed of seeing more than the world. I went wandering when I was a young lad. Angus, our father, raised Wilfred using me as a bad example, but instead of making Wilfred hold his wishes, Angus drove Wilfred to my footsteps, determined to best everything I did. Became captain in Monitor, but that was not good enough for Wilfred. He had to be a knight, and a bear at that. It's sad to see the likes of him and his friends making a mockery of Monitor's ideals. I've seen the changes, I'm sure. Courage and valour have become debased at knights like Wilfred and little more than braggarts and mercenaries. Where once the pinnacle of honour was Monitorian knight, now people see them as vain bullies. It sickens me. I nearly decided to renounce my commission when Mother sent word of Father's disappearance. The father said it. I was too much like my great-grandfather, Silverpate. Never thought I'd amount to much, even after I made it to captain. I'd like to break his heart when Wilfred ran away to Monair. That's where the Lord Wilfred lies from. He acts like a struggling noble with all his self-important ambition. Silverpate were a pirate. Made no bones about it. He built this inn when he retired from sea. His son Donald, my father's father, took over in Stonegate. Silverpate disappeared. Some think he might have gone back to the sea. Others say his evil past caught up with him. No one ever saw him again. There have been plenty who want to hunt for his treasure. Family legends say Silverpate used part of his treasure to build the inn. Everyone seems to think that he hid whatever was left somewhere around here before he disappeared. But I'll tell you, there ain't no treasure, and I should know. Bye.